In your community, you can build stronger relationships with your students, and in turn, they'll buy more from you because they trust you. However, it's easier said than done. Keeping a community engaged can be really tough because you're competing for your students' attention. Plus, not everyone wants to participate in communities in the same way. So you need to have multiple ways for your members to stay engaged. There are 4 types of members in a community. There's the creators, who will create posts, blogs, and other new content. There are the contributors, who would rather only reply or comment on the content created by others. There's the observers, who only really log in to view the community content and the conversations. And then there's the inactive members, and they haven't made any active contributions to your community within the past year. There's a general rule in communities known as the 90-9-1 rule that says 90% of members are observers, 9% of members are only contributors, and that you can expect only 1% of members to account for almost all the action. That 1% are the creators in your community, aka your superstars. Although every community is different, this is a good foundation for understanding how engagement works in a community. This will help you to not feel discouraged when, at times, it might feel like there's not enough people participating. Here are some of the most effective ways to encourage engagement as an instructor. Number 1, create rituals. Rituals are the things we do that have meaning, and they're a great way to create connections in your community. At Thinkific, we have a Welcome Wednesday ritual. Every Wednesday, we tag all our new community members, welcome them to the group, and ask them to introduce themselves by answering 3 questions. Rituals can be daily, weekly, or monthly, and they act as reference points for your members. 2, encourage asking questions. Get curious about your members in the beginning. When you publicly encourage people to ask questions and they see you asking a lot of questions, it invites others to join in and to do the same. Start with leading sentences like, "I'd love to know more about," or "Great insights, would you be up for sharing more about?" Or, "That's a great question, I wonder if anyone else here has experience with." 3, share memes, photos, and GIFs. Nothing screams more fun than a well-placed GIF or meme. Use images to break up your content and draw attention to posts. 4, create live events. Live events are the best way to get to know your community members fast. You could host an Ask Me Anything, a special community-only lesson with live video, or just promising to show up and live comment on any questions that come in. Connecting with your students allows you to gather valuable insights to understand what your students are curious about, or what they're struggling with. And then you can create engagement questions in the community to discuss those topics further. 5, run mastermind groups. Relationships are built over time, and masterminds are a perfect way to consistently help your students in a more meaningful way. A mastermind is a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly event where you connect with your students and work through problems together. They have a specific end date and are more focused on an outcome or goal. 6, co-working sessions or office hours. Create a time to work together and solve problems. Here's an example of a 60-minute co-working session. Take the first 10 minutes to talk about what you're going to work on, then do a 20-minute work block, with a 5-minute break right in the middle, and then another 20 minutes to work. Then you use the last 5 minutes of the session to share what you were able to accomplish during that working session. 7, run challenges or competitions. Who doesn't love a friendly competition? Even better if there are prizes or tangible outcomes at the end. Creating a 5-day challenge or friendly competition within your community builds friendships and can help your students learn by doing in a fun way. 8, giveaways. You get a prize, you get a prize, everyone gets a prize. Giveaways work really well for key moments in your community, like when you first start or when you're introducing a new offering or course. You can use them to encourage people to join right at the beginning. As an example, you can give the first 20 people to join your community some sort of gift. 9, surveys or polls. If you don't know who your community members are, you won't be able to best help them. Creating surveys and polls to get a quick pulse check on how your members are feeling is an easy way to know if you're on the right track. 10, virtual coffee hangs. If you're not ready to commit to a fully structured mastermind program or co-working sessions, then coffee hangs are a low-effort, high-reward way for you and your students to feel connected. All you gotta do is set how often you want to host them, show up to listen, and talk to your members. Casual hangouts are often less scary for people to join and are a great way for members to engage when they might be a bit shy. Now that you're armed with 10 ways to engage your community as an instructor, I challenge you to pick at least one that you can implement and test out right away. Number 1, accountability buddies. Create a post where students can find accountability buddies to help support them throughout your course. Number 2, separate spaces. Have spaces for students to connect on specific topics that are interesting to them. Number 3, foster community-led events. When you're hosting any instructor-led events that are in your time zone, make sure to do a call out to see if anyone in your community wants to cover another time zone. This helps your global community feel connected. 4, create a directory. A directory is a great tool for your students to add their profiles and see what others are up to. You can create these in a Google Sheet, in a Google Form, or in an Airtable. 5, networking events. Encourage networking events so your students can get to know one another. A speed networking format is not only efficient, but a fun way for members to connect with multiple people at a time. 6, mentor program. If you have previous students that have completed your course, a mentor program could help keep both your new and old students engaged with one another. You can set up a mentor-mentee matching in a similar way to setting up a directory. Once you have consistent peer-led engagement, keep in mind who the dominant voice in your community is. Is it you, or is it your community members? At Thinkific, we have an 80-20 voice, 20% Thinkific and 80% community members. This way we're able to listen much more than we talk and encourage members to support one another. When your community starts out, your voice will be more dominant because you need to keep engagement going. Once you've introduced effective instructor-led engagement and encouraged peer-led engagement, you'll see the balance shift towards community-led conversations. Now pick a peer-led tactic you can try out in your community. Number 1, create badges. Award badges to the most active members, founding members, or community experts. Badges help differentiate those in your community. They can be very literal, for example, member of the month, or you can make them fun and silly like gift master. 2, offer referral benefits. Encourage your members to share your course or offerings and give them a really good referral bonus, like 30 to 50%. This will get them hyped to get others to join. 3, repost member content. Highlight contributions from your active members in your newsletter or on social media. This is known as user-generated content, and it's a win-win because your members are getting recognition on your public channels, and you get content from them sharing in the community. 4, give public praise. Continuously call out wins and encourage your members when they share milestones in your community. You could create a Member of the Month post or a weekly roundup post that thanks the top creators in your community that week. 5, reward participation. Acknowledge your top members often and create a points or a ranking system to reward those that actively participate in your community. People need to see progress to feel motivated, and when you have one or more ways that your members can progress through your community, you'll keep them coming back for more.